Are you looking for grants right now for your nonprofit? Well, you may be making a mistake that countless nonprofit founders make when they're trying to find money for their organizations, especially if they're new and they're small nonprofits. This mistake is probably costing you thousands in just hours, in time, and also in money. In this video, I'm going to share a really simple mindset shift in how you search for grants to help you find the right opportunities for your nonprofit and to increase your odds at winning the grants that you do right. I'm Tiffany with Boss on a Budget. I teach people how to start nonprofits from the ground up, and I also teach people how to get money from their nonprofits when they're literally starting from scratch. So you want to know the mistake you're making when you're searching for grants? You're only looking for available grant opportunities. You're probably going on Google and you're looking to see what's open, what's available to your nonprofit. But when you do it that way, you're literally only finding probably 10 to 15% of the potential funders that could be funding your organization. So what is the simple mindset switch or flip that you need to make to find more opportunities? This is what you do. You search for funders and not for grants. And you're probably asking, like, Tiffany, they're the same thing. What do you mean? Well, let me explain in this video. When you search for funders, you're looking for the organizations that fund the work that you want to do. You're looking for organizations that are aligned with your mission, that are aligned with your purpose, that are aligned with your size and your capacity. You're looking for funders who like to fund organizations like you. But when you're looking for any and every grant opportunity, then you're just looking for what they're putting out there. And you don't know necessarily when you're taking the time to reply to that opportunity if it's a good fit or not. When you're searching for grants, you really need to look into the funder and research the funder first, and then decide whether or not it's the right opportunity for you. I'm going to give you a real example to show you what I'm talking about. So say you're a nonprofit in Chicago and you serve youth. So you're looking for youth program grants in Chicago. So you may put that in your search engine, or you may even have a grants database, right? And you put that in and you maybe come up with 15 to 20 opportunities. But what if you did this? You look for foundations that have funded similar work, not just in Chicago, but maybe also in the Midwest or in the whole state of Illinois. You also find similar programs in your area and you identify and investigate who funded them. And not just other youth programs, maybe there are just other nonprofits that do different types of work and they publish an annual report. And you look at that annual report and you see who their donors and their partners are. But you also start investigating your local area by figuring out, okay, what are the big brands in our area? What are the corporations or the companies that have a large presence in our area? Who employs a lot of people in our area? I guarantee you that most of those organizations have some kind of philanthropic arm. They do some kind of community support or community giving. When you look at it that way and you make your search way more comprehensive and you make it about the opportunities that fit your needs, whether it fits your needs geographically, fits your needs based on the topic or based on the population that you serve, you will have way more than 15 to 20 opportunities. If you still aren't convinced, I want to share just 3 more reasons that you need to be aware of so that you understand why it's so important to make this switch. First of all, you're relying on your research skills to find timely opportunities. That means every day you are scouring press releases, you're scouring the news, you're looking at your Google alerts, you're looking at all of these websites on a regular basis to see what new opportunities are out there. And that can be kind of exhausting. And sometimes you don't have time to do that. You don't have time to be that present in the search process. So you're not just depending on what you find out, and also you're not depending on foundations that announce. Because a lot of times foundations or grant funders may not have a strong PR machine and may not put out a lot of information about what's available. And truth be told, a lot of funders don't announce or want to be solicited for funding opportunities, but that doesn't mean that you still can't get money from them. So when you're only relying on what's broadcasted, you're missing a whole heap of other opportunities for your nonprofit. This is the second thing you got to realize. Most funders are hidden. Most funders do not have websites. And you would think in this day and age that they would invest the money into putting information about themselves on a website, but that's not necessarily a priority for a lot of foundations, especially if they're like a smaller family foundation. And sometimes even with like corporate foundations, their corporate social responsibility work is embedded in the corporation's website. So So they may have information about them giving money, but the information is so buried and it's so hard to find. And it's literally like a little small link at the bottom of one random page. It's really hard to find that. And a lot of funders just don't want to be found, right? Because can you imagine if everybody in your neighborhood knew you now got $1 million? Everybody would be knocking on your door. So you have to remember that there are way more funders than not that are hidden. There are way more funders where you really have to dig for their information. So just relying on searching for open grant opportunities, again, is causing you to miss out on so many funding sources and so many grants that could be a blessing to your organization. And the third reason, which is the biggest reason of all, and I preach this all the time when I talk about grant writing, is that you having a funder-centric approach means that you're focusing on building a relationship, not just chasing grants. The one key to you being successful for your nonprofit in writing grants is your ability to build deeper relationships with your funder. And the first step in building a relationship with anything or anyone is knowing them, just understanding them, knowing their patterns, see how they move. And based on how you know they move and the things that they like and the things they're attracted to, you try to find the alignments in those things. Well, I know that this funder likes it when we talk about this, or they're really into these kind of programs in this neighborhood. And if that aligns with what you do, then you know for sure that that's a good fit for you. And you begin to see, okay, how can I get in front of this funder? How can I learn more about what they're doing? How can I share information? It gives you the foundation you need for a deeper relationship. And when you had prior communication with a foundation or with a funder, and if you've worked with them in another capacity, you're way more likely to get funded because they know you and they trust you. Foundations and grant funders often fund people they don't know anything about before the application. Yes, that's true, but talk to any grant writer, talk to any OG in the game, and they'll tell you you'll have way better chances if they have had some kind of interaction with you, if you have some kind of relationship with them. So looking for funders first lays the foundation for you understanding who you want to attract, and you find those kind of funders, and it saves so much time instead of you just randomly finding a foundation, wasting your time applying, and then getting discouraged when they say no. If you need help writing your first grant, comment grant workbook below, because I created a workbook that has worksheets that help you go through every section of a typical grant proposal. I also have resources on my website. You can visit me at bossonabudget.com. And don't forget to check out this video where I talk about 5 free websites that you can find grant opportunities today. You're going to see a link to that video at the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.